Hello and welcome to Matt's Rocks. Today I'm going to work on this piece of, I think it's Vernon Wonderstone. I figured I happen to have a old video pop up from currently rock hounding on my YouTube this morning. And he had a rock that looked pretty close to this one and this one. And it's Vernon Wonderstone, which I think is volcanic tuff. I'm not positive. It may be jasper. I know it's hard as it's really hard. It's really smooth. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to round off the outside edges of these two. And then I'm going to work on this piece of stromatolite. I don't know if I'll do all of this one yet. I may just round off these other two because I want to do them on the Flatlap. And because I don't want to really round them off too much. They're not going to be a necklace or anything like that. It's just going to be a display piece. So I won't have to get real fancy with them. But they will look nice when I'm done, I hope. So let me go ahead and get started. I looked that up on the that video that I saw that made me think this was Vernon Wonderstone. And it's banded rhyolite. I'd have never thought that. I was thinking it was tough because that's what the picture stone is made out of, is volcanic tuff, which is volcanic ash. And it does have quite a few pits in it, and that's what I don't remember his name, World of Rock Hounds. Or not World of Rock Hounds, currently rock hounding. He's the one I looked up on the internet. Looks like I might still have water in the, see this dark streak going up that fracture? It looks like there may be water soaked into that and it's still there. And it may not be, it may be something else. Anyway, I'm gonna work on this piece now. It's wider or thicker on one end than it is on the other. So I'm just gonna leave it like it is. And not a whole lot I can do about it anyway. So I've got Bell's palsy. That's why my face is all screwy. That's why I only smile out of one side, because or one side, it's over here. This side is I've got no facial muscle. I can't really work my facial muscles on this side. I can move it a little bit, and when you pull down on that eyelid, it don't want to go back up like the other one does. It just goes right back up. And it's where the nerves go into from your nerve center in the top of your spine. They go into your skull, back in the back of the skull, and come out underneath around your ear to work your facial muscles. And I've got an irritation underneath my ear or something on that nerve. I had an irritation. It's killed the nerve basically. I don't have a whole lot of feeling in that side. I can feel it, but I can't move it. It's the nerve going to the muscles, and they had to go in and get the scar tissue. I had cataract surgery, and they replaced both lenses in both eyes with plastic lenses. And then they come in and I had scar tissue around them where they put the lenses in, and they come in and they lasered the scar tissue. Well, then the next thing you know, I had scar tissue on the back of my eye on the right side, on the side that I got the Bell's palsy on, and they had to drain the fluid out of that eye and go in with a laser and burn that off. And then when they put the fluid back in, it's not all the way. They couldn't get all of it back in because I don't know how long the syringe was they used to drain it, or how long or put it back in. They used the same syringe to put it back in, I would say, and what little bit, when you get the syringe to the end of the tube, it's you've still got that much needle left, so there's still that much fluid left inside that needle. So it's now I've got astigmatism, which means my eye's not round anymore on that side, and I can't see quite as good out of that eye as after that. Because when they put it back in, I had 20/20 vision, except I still needed bifocals because I didn't want to pay the extra $500 of lens to make up for the near or farsighted nearsightedness. And so I just knew I knew the glasses were cheaper for reading glasses than they are for prescription glasses. So I figured, what the heck? Why pay that $500 a piece for each eye? And I should have done it. Hindsight's 20/20, they say in the eye business, I guess. I don't know about this key. But anyway, I'm going to start on this one. I'm going to round this one off. I've got some. You can see the kerf marks in this one now that it's dry. And there are some saw marks here, but they're not as bad as the other one was. But that's because the other blade's got more out. I didn't dress it before I cut that other stone. Plus that other stone was harder, and that's why it didn't come out as good. Okay, I got all the pits and chips out of it. I'm going to go ahead and go to the next wheel, and so I don't make, if I do catch the edge, I'm not going to make such a big gouge in it. And I'll straighten out all my weird flat spots and all that with this other one, with this 220 grit. More forgiving on mistakes. Okay, I think I can work the rest of these off now and get my flat spots off on the 280. I think I'll wait on that other stromatolite and maybe not even put it in this video. Maybe I'll do the video just on the stromatolite. It's going to be all done on the, mostly all done on this machine rather than the Flatlap, except for maybe the bigger pieces. Okay, those aren't scratches. That's different colors in the fortification, or in the bands. These aren't fortification lines, they're bands. It's banded rhyolite. And you can see the scratches. Right there below my finger. Got those from wrapping around the edge of the wheel, because that's a band on there, that's glued to the softer foam rubber underneath it. I don't want to do that all in one spot too much. Wow. I definitely don't want to take it to that other, back to the 220 grit. I think that'll put more scratches in it. That's why I didn't do the face on the 220 grit. Trying not to round that face in either, so that when I do put it on the Flatlap, it'll still be flat rather than dome. Oh, I can't believe how deep those were. Yeah, luckily they're thin. If it would have been on the side of one of these two steel discs, it would have made a valley. Wide at the top and skinny at the bottom. Where these aren't all that wide. Okay, Jummy. Scratches are on the wider side, the taller side, because it's going to be standing up like this, so that's the taller side rather than the wider side. And they're right there. I just thought I'd change the directions to try to get them out a little faster. Doing it half at a time is how I got the waves in some of the other cabs that I made. Of course, it doesn't help when some of it's softer than the rest of it either. Down to two. There's two little ones right there. Now just put it on the right side. Luckily it didn't put no scratches in there. Looks like I got scratches out of the other one. Let's do this one more time. Now there's still some scratches in there, but they're not very big now. They're more like a 280 grit scratch, so I think I will take these to the 100 grit too right off the bat. Even though I've got some high diamonds on that 100 grit wheel, so I'll still be leaving scratches, but hopefully I'll get them out with the 280, 270. Can't remember what it was now. Yeah, 270. It's got, you can see the rings around it, but I don't think that's bad. I might try this one first. I think I will. Okay, I changed my mind. I've decided those discs are so wore out, I'm just going to do this one. That's a nice little hole right there. I think I'm just going to do them on this machine. So I think it'll do them without making them too rounded over on these smaller, or on these smaller grit wheels. So I'll just go ahead and do them on this. I trust this machine more. I screwed up them discs and they're almost $100 a piece. The steel discs are 115, I think. Steel discs are more expensive than the softer discs. And with these going to be samples, it don't matter whether they're flat all the way across. Try something here. Skipping the 1200, going down to the 3000. These are my newest wheels, newer than my Flatlaps and my, well no, the Flatlaps aren't as new as this, but I haven't had these on here that long. I had the resin wheel, or the Nova wheels on there first until I wore them out. Well, almost wore them out. They're probably still good. I could just drop them down a row, but the 3000 still got good grit on it, so it gets used the least, or amount of time, not the least. But it doesn't take as long to do the 3000 as it does, say, the 280 or the other one. Thinking with the grit being 3000 grit, maybe it'll not show all those pits as much, or break out the pits. Well, it sounds like I'm pushing on that one hard. I don't know what the deal is with it. It's shining a little better. That's dry. You can still see all those pits on there. Alright, I'm going to shut this off. Show you what I'm talking about on this. See all the bumps and stuff under that one. Of course, this one does too. They all do. This one's the smoothest, probably because it gets used more. Let me go ahead and go with the 280 or the 1200. Go from there. Or the, yeah, 1200. Try it on this back side. See if we get more of the pits out before I go to the 3000. I may go ahead and switch to the next, or to the Flatlap before this is over, just because I can, as long as I don't have to twist it this way, because when you twist it this way, it's like using a lever. You're putting more pressure up this way without needing to. And that might be why I'm still getting the pits. I'm trying to keep it as straight as I can, but that doesn't always work out, especially when you get as old as I am. Every once in a while my hand will just jerk and stuff too. And that's how my fingers came off back here. I can't believe those kerf marks are still in there. That's, of course, that may, it has to be a kerf mark because it's not a different color, it's just a dull spot. So it's not an inclusion. figure I'd have had them out of there by now. They're just not coming out too good. Although they are defined by the pits that's in them. And the more I grind, the more pits I get. Where I'm trying to get them out. I'm going to switch to that other machine and see what happens. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I'm back. Okay, let me get this 280 grit on here. Figured I'd eat me some supper while I was out, or while I was taking my break. I think there's a speed adjustment on this. Wow. Maybe I shouldn't have rounded this off so soon. But it seems to be catching pretty hard on that. Oh yeah, that's even worse. We won't be doing that one. I don't know if you can see it. You can see the dull spots around the outside edges. And it was just about ready to pull the stone out of my hand. I thought it was the water not being on strong enough, but that's actually putting scratches back in too. So yeah, I won't be using that one. I may end up going back to the dang cabin machine too before it's over with. In here on this section of the wheel, it was doing all right, but it's when it got out here, you can see it's a little shinier in here than it is out in here. So I think I got more grit out here than I do in here. So it's more of my bad initial habits. Let's go to the 1200. Let's see if I can't get this thing looking right for a change. I may have this going too fast, maybe throwing the water off of it too fast, because it looks drier out here on the edges, and I got that water on a straight stream. It's not all the way fast, but it's a straight stream. It's not drops. That goes out a little further, but you can see the fog, and I don't need all that water all over the place, especially not in my lungs. Seems like it's getting, oh yeah, it's getting a lot better. Let me dry the whole thing off so I can show it to you. Maybe I should go back another, my arm is soaked. Maybe I should go back another step on the soft pads too and go to the 325. I'm still getting crap on there, or water on there. I wasn't even halfway on. I wonder if that's because my, I'm gonna do. I think I've got enough. There we go. It's getting some of the dull out of it. You can still see the duller area, but out around the outside edges of those dull areas, it's shining up again already. But as much as it's wanting to drag it out of my hand, I think that's not, of course it's not wet either. It doesn't seem to be grabbing it like the other one is, or does. Chunk of rock sitting there from this other towel that was underneath the slabs before. And I may end up just going straight to the 3000 too, if this one tries to drag it out of my hand. I may put this on off till tomorrow too. Let me give it one more go here on this. Once I figure out which side of my stone I got. Now this it was all wet again on that one side, so it all looked shiny. Made me not sure which one was the shiny one and which one wasn't. Oh yeah, it's still catching it, but it's not catching it as hard. So maybe I'll go through this one. We'll see. It's still catching some of it, but I got it where I'm using all of the water before it gets slung out to the edge. Except the stone's not letting it go all the way underneath, all the way to the other side if I press down on it too hard. So I'm not trying to press on it very hard anyway. Make sure my cameras were still recording. Let's see how you feel it. It's really grabbing it there. It's just underneath that end, I think, too. That end or that side that I just scritched, taking it off there. You hear that sharp, high-pitched scritch as I twist it in order to break the suction of the water. And that's putting too much pressure on that outside edge, and it's leaving a flat spot or scratches. Although I didn't, yeah, it's leaving a little bit of scratches. The other one did. That was on the 1200 grit disc. Nope. All that one's doing is dulling everything up again. Let's go to the 3000. And this one does the same thing, and got glue on here, wood glue chunks. Although they're not going to hurt anything, they're not going to cut any stone. They might cut this stuff. It seems to be a little softer. Oh well, I don't think they'll hurt anything. My table's not as level as I thought it was, or it may be my machine that's not level too. And it could be this concrete floor. Okay, good. I was smart enough that time to leave this dull side down so it didn't get wet again, so I could see it without wetting it down at all again, or drying it off again. That's not wanting to pull it out of my hand as bad. There may be different ways of doing this too. As porous as it is, there may be a different way to polish it and get it to look better, but I don't know. And it may be that it won't. I've got a piece of siltstone over there that had patterns in it because it was almost like a stalactite type of thing, where it was formed in layers building up. And I tumbled it, and it was like sandstone, real fine grained sandstone. That's what it looked like. And it took a pretty good polish, except for where the lines were at in between layers. It's working, but it's taking forever, and my shoulders are getting sore. That's why I like the other one. I can rest my arms there, and I don't have to do this. This, I can't rest my hand on this or my arm on this and cut off the circulation and feel like I'm trying to chop my bones off. I think I'm going to go ahead and call it quits on this and go back to this machine. Okay, I'm back. I decided I was going to go ahead and finish these tonight anyway. After all, I ain't got that much on this one left to do, although I got a lot to do on this backside. When I messed up, it's pitted all over the place, but it's not going to really matter on whether as long as one side's, they're both pitted. Both sides are pitted pretty bad. Okay. I'm pretty sure I didn't use a whole lot of, this one. Sure, I didn't use a whole lot of water on this stone to begin with. Let's work on this other part first. I'm an idiot. But actually that's helping, so. And that seemed to be going faster than the other one. I just didn't have any water on there. I went to the wrong stone. I got to talking and forgot what I was doing. Maybe I just should shut my water off. I don't think so, but maybe this stone does need heat. Some of them do. Agates, you're better off getting them a little warm. You don't want them too warm, they'll crack, but every once in a while it doesn't hurt to get them a little warm. Well, that's the video. Thanks for watching. I didn't, my GoPro shut off before I was able to show off the final results of this slab. There's the back side of it. Hopefully you can see how much it's shining. Does that not look like Johnny Five, the face of Johnny Five right there? Johnny Five was the robot in the movie called Short Circuit, and he had a silver aluminum body, looking body, and his head was rectangular, had the eyes on either side. There, that little stub down at the bottom is where his neck was attached, and it reminded me of that. I thought I mentioned it in the video, but I think maybe it was one of the parts that I sped up because there wasn't anything else being said at the time. Other than me running off at the mouth because I can't shut up. I like to talk to myself and explain to myself what I'm doing. But anyway, it did fall, and I keep calling these wheels on this machine stones, just because of the old bench grinders that had the pumice wheels that you use to sharpen, or the grit, like sharpening stones on them that you use to sharpen mower blades and that type of stuff, or chisels and screwdrivers. And that's why I keep calling them stones, and I don't know that I'll ever get out of that habit because I switch off back and forth between the two without even realizing it. And that's the little easel that I was talking about that I got to put the stones on for display, so you can set them up on a shelf. And that's why it's called a sample. You couldn't really cut it up without making the pattern all wonky. You'd have just U-shaped patterns on that side and U-shaped on this side. It wouldn't be nothing that goes all the way around like that does. It looks better that way when it's like that. I haven't looked at the rest of the cabs, or haven't looked real good at the rest of the cabs. I may or may not be able to get smaller, or slabs I should say. I may not be able to get cabs out of it, smaller cabs, but I'll have to find out once I look through it all. But I'm trying to get this better for you guys. Please like, subscribe, and share. I would like some comments if you would. I'm trying to figure out whether you're like the shorter ones or the longer ones. I started doing this so that I could teach people things that I had to learn on my own when I was grinding on these machines, like putting too much pressure on them takes your wheels out real quick. And going around the sides of them cuts grooves in your wheels, and all the different things you got to look out for, like crystals in your rock that pop out and leave scratches. and they'll just keep doing that if you don't. You just get them as best as you can and then stop, because if you keep going, you're going to take out the ones that are there and put more in. So you're fighting a losing battle on that type of stuff on some rocks. Other rocks you can go down to your lower or your higher numbered grits, which are smaller grits, and they won't chip out as much, but sometimes that doesn't help either. It just depends on the size of the crystals in their bugs or whatever they are. But anyway, I'm trying to make this better for you, and I'll take any tips that I can get on any of this. Like I said, I'm new. I've only been doing this for off and on for 3 years now, almost 4. But I've had so many setbacks in the middle that it's not been all the way through type period of learning. So anyway, thanks for watching and have a good day.